what is the role of an SAP BTP solution architect? So I think you can kind of come at this from lots of different angles on what kind of background that person is and where do they play and who can touch it and who doesn't. And don't you
Yep.
think? I mean, there's
Yeah.
different roles within it.
I can take a stab a little bit on the application development side and then probably give it to someone. Huh? Sorry.
Shivaji, address it from the BTP solution architect, right? Like without going into the
Verticals.
Different
Okay.
users. Yeah.
Yeah. From overall, okay, even before solution architect, I'll go one level above as an enterprise architect. Okay, so if you overall looking at your enterprise need and how the business transformation going on, right? You in at one point of time you'll probably understand like what are the business need, and based on that, what is the development you need, what is the gap, right? After that, in traditional world, when we only had on-premise ECC world, right? We used to jump onto a ISFW list and start coding, right? Not anymore. Before that, you need to judge what are the different areas how I can develop. So it could be within the core or it could be an extension of the core. So that judgment is something that the BTP solution architect is an integral part of, right? His judgment is necessary there. That's number one. Number two, I am integrating that core with some other stuff, other SaaS product, other non-SAP product, third party, whatnot, right? So how my integration portfolio would look like, what are the connector I would use, what are the protocol I would use, what are the storage management I should use, how the network should look like, what is the centricity of the network. That is another portfolio, which is the BTP solution architect has to give valuable input on that, right? Now, coming on to the data architecture, how that's a huge topic, and that's where also like you need to understand what is the data gravity of your entire landscape. Are you a SAP centric company, or are you having a non-SAP centric company where SAP is just a portfolio as in the side? Based on that, where is your data integration going on? And even for organizations who are envisioning ambitious projects on AI, having multiple data pipeline and all this, that way also you need to think of what is the data cleansingness or what is the data accuracy that I'm prompting or I'm pumping into my data pipeline so that I get good results out of AI, right? So AI and data portfolio management and overall looking at what are the things that I should do. Why BTP solution architect is gaining more and more traction and it's very important role because BTP, I've been talking about all the enterprise needs, right? And
Right.
all the enterprise needs, be it application, integration, extension, data, AI, all are touching one platform as a service, which is BTP. And
So
BTP
let me ask you
has,
this. If I was ECC, if I talked like my terminology is ECC world, and we've got like an ABAPer, we have a basis guy, we have, that's technical side, then we have the functional side, then we have the business. Who would come in and play that role of BTP?
Good question. Yeah, Smitha.
So before I answer that question, the message I want to give everyone on the call, and they can take this message back to their business, is everyone engaged on a project should understand the capabilities of BTP. What is BTP? What can BTP do for my business? I think that everybody needs to understand. And what I've always said is do not approach BTP from a technical standpoint. It is a business technology platform. It is a platform, it's a technical platform for business.
Yeah.
Right? But you cannot look at BTP purely from a technical aspect simply because if there is no business need, there is no need for a business technology platform. Right? So the business also needs to understand how they can run their business better, extend their business to consume those innovations using BTP. They need to understand how to do that, or not how to do it, but more like what are the capabilities, right? And then the IT can come in and figure out how to do it.
Right.
Right? So to answer your question, who plays that role is not straightforward. Right? It has to be a combination of both business and IT figuring out how they're going to leverage the platform.
It's almost like an enterprise architect, kind of like a BTP enterprise architect, not really like a solution.
Thinking of from the business aspect is very, very important. So as you mentioned, Kendall, like for example, in my previous world, I used to think of like ABAPers and basis person and a functional guy, for example,
Right.
right?
Yeah. That's those are
And
yeah.
typically, I've seen this kind of question. Like in my RISE W list, I used to do this development like this. I need a custom table. I need a custom report or a user exit to feed that into feed that table and create a custom DINFO program to create a screen. How I can do that in BTP? Now, before you think on a technical side, if you start thinking from the technical angle, you'll probably see that, okay, I have a database. Now I try to do something on the database. Now this is a web intro screen. What is the screen I should do on that side? But hold on, before you go into that, just think a step back and think that why exactly you would develop this thing? What is the business need for that? You may think that, okay, this development which was developed, which is not in right shape and form right now in the to be world, it has to be enhanced. That is one part of it. Second is, even if it's there, probably BTP is already providing an out of the solution. For example, now for the designing the screen, I would probably I do not need any coding. I probably go and build it as a low code no code way.
Yeah.
Or I sense that, be it in the present world, probably it's just a screen, but in a to be world, it would be better to have infused a process in underneath of the screen. So in that case, I'll probably go to build process automation to build the screen as well as the process flow to integrate to the API.